So I'm walking around the yard like I do just about every day and checking on trees and checking on plants and just everything. And this pear tree that I purchased at Tractor Supply, it wants to live. It really, really wants to live. And that is why it keeps pushing out all these green leaves. But it's getting way too much sun. It's telling me, by crisping up like this, it's telling me it's getting too hot and the leaves just keep crisping, just like that peanut butter fruit tree. So this has been in the ground for about 2 years, and it's just really not loving this spot. So it's gonna have to get moved. Not sure where we're gonna move it yet, but to be honest with you, most everything on this side of my house is doing poorly. This is doing good though. This is like the only thing over here doing good. It's putting on new leaves, and it's a black sapote, and I didn't think it was going to do good at first, but now it's looking really good. So this one is going to be able to stay. This is a persimmon tree, and it's not doing too bad here. I got some Okinawa spinach growing around it, and like a ground cover. And I have these little things growing as a ground cover. I forget the name of them. But it's doing okay besides getting munched on. I think it's going to be okay here. And then I have this lemon guava, and it had a little guava on it, and it fell off. But I'm coming and I'm looking today, and I'm seeing this new growth on here. We have to stay in the garden every day, because if we're not in the garden every day, we can't see what's really going on, even if we're just a walk around. I mean, even every other day, if I miss one day out here, then I really miss things. I miss what's going on. Like, I wouldn't have stopped by this guava tree, I wouldn't see this new growth. And the pear tree over there, I don't know what I'm going to do. Something's got to happen. It's got to move because it's really not doing well. I don't know if you can see it here, but it's right here, and it looks like a little stick. So that's got to go. We got to move that somewhere else. I really want it to live. It wants to live. It just isn't doing good right there in the sun. And let's see what other ones we have over here. This one I thought wasn't doing too good, but you know, maybe it was just because I had just put it in and then I buried it too deep and then didn't get a whole lot of water over the winter because it really needed water. I really haven't been taking the proper care of most of my plants because I haven't physically been able to. But I'm back on the grind, and they're still living. I haven't killed them all. And this is just part of having fruit trees. You still have your regular life, and when your regular life you can't do things, then it really, things suffer in the yard. It really does. But then not doing things and staying out of the yard, you get crazy stuff happening, like this cucamelon over here. So the cucamelon, I came out, and you know, if you watched any of these shows, that I was looking forever for it. I planted it, wasn't sure where it was at, and all of a sudden here it comes back, and it's coming back in force because all this green stuff you see pretty much is all cucamelons. You can see them growing everywhere. I don't know how good that's going to be for the pineapple, but we'll see, huh? This porterweed is doing amazing. Everything else is doing moderately okay. I have to make some adjustments to this side of my yard though. because the other side is doing so much better. I know that this can be better. I'm just not sure how. I have to figure this out. I know one thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get some irrigation on this side of the house. For some reason, this is the dry side. You can see the sand that I'm dealing with. And I've got some mulch coming and some dirt. We got to redress this area out here on these beds. A lot has to happen over here, but right now my main concern really is this pear tree. See guys, I'm doing all this in my front yard, okay? This is where I like the sun. I'm not going to show my neighbors' houses. The sun comes up from over here and it comes all the way over, so to the west, like it should, right? So this I thought would be a great spot because it does get a lot of sun, and I think that's okay. It's just not getting enough water. And I have all these oak trees that give cover, and like this is a pretty shady spot right here. I'm like standing in the you know, it's a dappled sunlight, and so I thought this pear tree would do good here because of the dappled sunlight from the oak trees. But it needs a little bit more shade, and so we have things that we have to assess in the garden in the fall and in the spring, but mostly in the fall, because that's when we can move trees around when their leaves fall off and they go into their dormant state. Some of them do, some of them don't, but the fall is the best time because there's less sunlight, which the sugars come up from the roots and they come all the way out into the leaves and into the fruit when there's a lot of sunlight. And when the sunlight isn't there, all those sugars go back down. And when they're down is when you want to trim your trees. And that's why fall is a good time to make these assessments in your yard with your plants and like with your trees, and knowing should they be moved or are they good where they are, especially when you're first starting out. I'm first starting out, so these are my first years into it, and I don't know much, but I'm learning, and this is how I'm learning, by trial and error. And this is an error, a big one. I love pears. When I lived in Georgia, my landlord up there, he had a couple pear trees and on the property where I lived, and going out and being able to get those pears off the tree, because he was a great landlord and he was a giving and sharing landlord, and I was able to partake in his fruits of his labor, and it was nice. And I just want to have some pears of my own, and I'm not sure if that's going to happen if I leave this tree here. So we're going to have to move it. It's not going to happen today. It's going to happen when I get my dirt. I've got to make some more rows, some more berms. But I think I'm going to move this tree around to the other side of the house, and I think it will do better there. But that's what I'm doing today. I'm going through, I'm assessing plants, I'm assessing everything, and we're just checking to see what we have. And like this is putting on some new growth. This is another Tractor Supply buy, and it has a green little marking on it, and that means that this tree came from a certain grower. And I only know that because when Lonnie Reed from Reed Farm and Nurseries came over and let me know I'm doing what I was doing right and wrong, as far as he let me know I buried my trees too deep and that I needed a lot more water, and I still need to lift the trees up, and the dirt that I'm getting will do that. But I don't know who this belongs to. I got this at Tractor Supply, so a local grower must have sold it to them, and I'm not doing this tree justice at all. This one I think also will be moved. because it, well, here again, it's got new growth on it. So is that a good thing? That's got to be a good thing, right? But all the other leaves just don't look like they're doing well. I'm no expert. I am learning. If you guys know what's going on other than it just being dry and needing more water, maybe? I don't know. We've had a lot of rain lately, so... And I fertilized. I'm not sure. You guys got any ideas? Let me know in the comments below. Stay hydrated and count those blessings.